Well, with more on this story, we're joined now by Neil McCabe, a former reporter with the conservative-leaning news website Brietbart, and he comes to us from Washington, D.C. Neil, thanks very much for talking to us. The dominoes seem to be falling. We've had the revelations from Michael Flynn. Now we're hearing that Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is named as the senior official in the court papers by Michael Flynn. This can't be good for the Trump administration.
Well, I think what we're seeing is a criminalization of American politics that is very unfortunate. There's nothing that Michael Flynn did that was unusual or not expected from a national security advisor to an incoming transition team. The two conviction pleas that Robert Mueller has gotten so far are both what we call in the United States an obstruction trap, where FBI agents have a conversation with someone, there's not a lawyer present, and if you in any way mislead or tell the FBI agents not the whole truth, even though you don't realize that you are the target of an investigation, all of a sudden you have a federal obstruction of justice charge, which puts you in a terrible, terrible situation. So both of these situations with the earlier aide and with Flynn were in January of 2017, 5 months before Mueller even was appointed as the special counsel. So you got to wonder what's really going on.
Yeah, why has Flynn suddenly changed his story? Why has he finally admitted to being guilty of this? He must have something fairly valuable, though, to strike this deal with Mueller.
I can't imagine what he has to trade with Mueller that would be illegal or he would be hiding. I think he's a guy who's stuck in a very, very difficult situation. Imagine his situation. He's the White House National Security Advisor. Some FBI agents start asking him about his conversations with the Russian ambassador. He doesn't know what their clearance is. He doesn't understand what's going on exactly. They haven't communicated to him that he's the target of an investigation. And so he doesn't give them a complete answer. I think it would be understandable that any White House National Security Advisor might be hesitant to fully inform an FBI agent who might not have access to these high secrets. You can imagine that the conversations between a Russian ambassador and a national security advisor would be highly classified. So why would he necessarily tell these FBI agents the full truth, not knowing the situation? I think it's very understanding what happened, but because they threatened his son and members of his family, I think he basically took the easy way out.
But he's the fourth person who has been charged. And if those reports that Jared Kushner is involved, this goes directly to the heart of the White House. And how can the White House spin this to minimize any damage?
Oh, I understand that. Yeah. Well, I mean, the first two, the Manafort and his assistant are charged with paperwork mistakes dating back to 5 years ago. Again, nothing to do with collusion with the Russians. Both the plea agreements, one was on January 24th, one was on January 27th. So obviously the FBI was setting up obstruction traps for the new administration 5 months before Mueller even was appointed. So I don't know where you go to find collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign, which is why Mueller was appointed in the first place. And it's been a long time. They have 20 or 30 lawyers over there. Many of us, especially on the conservative side of the House, are confused why this thing is allowed to go on when we saw for 8 years the Obama administration successfully dodged these kinds of investigations, and nobody went to jail and nobody was arrested.
Okay, Neil McCabe, former reporter with Brietbart, thanks very much for talking to us.